Hello everyone. I'm the chemistry faculty working in the G group of institutions. Guys, in our the previous topic, the part three, the chemical bonding type of one. So just we learn up to the polarization, I think. So ionic bond is the completed, and the covalent bond. In the covalent bond, just we finished it up to the polarization, the definition. So now let's continue the part four. Part four about the Fazen role. Okay, it is also regarding to covalent bond nature only. And before going to know this that Fazen's role, so let us know about this the polarization. What was our the previous topic? So this is about the previous topic, beta. So covalent bond that polarization. So according to the previous part, so polarization means what, beta? Whenever that one cation, see here that one cation is there. Okay, let us get that one compound, sodium chloride. In sodium chloride, what is the cation? Sodium ion is the cation, and chlorine is a anion. So when a cation and that anions are very close to each other, then the shape of anions is going to be destroyed by the cation. So these the shape will be there, the chloride ion of the shape, because that here that the chloride ion is that anion. So the shape of this that chloride ion will be destroyed with the help of what? The cation only. Okay, so it is nothing but what? Polarization. Okay, so due to this, the covalent nature, it develops inside ionic molecules. So what is that? Due to this, the covalent nature, what is that? It means that polarization. It develops in an what? Ionic molecules. So in order the previous part means that part three we learned up to the polarization. So if you won't listen, just go and check the part one, part two, part three of these the types of bonds. And guys, if you are the new viewer, just please try to subscribe this channel and just hit the click on that bell icon. Then you will get that regular notifications from our this that YouTube channel. So I hope you people are that enjoying by listening this the classes. And we will try to make out that the best to publish that so many videos regarding that NEET and IIT JEE, and within the couple of days I'm going to publish that one video on that NEET as well as that IIT JEE, like that how to we learn and how much time we need to spend and to do that work hard, and how much rank and how many marks we should get that for IIT JEE, that mains as well as that advanced and that NEET point of view, and how many colleges are there and what are the rank medium, and that each and everything within that couple of days. Means that tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, I'm going to publish this. So please subscribe the channel. Okay, beta. Now let us start this that Fazen rule. First, Fazen rule is the very important according to IP point of view, is that board exams as well as that objective point of view. So the chances are there to be given the questions based on this topic, Fazen rule. So please try to concentrate and don't skip the video. Just please try to watch this video out till the end of this one. Okay? And at the end of the dinner, so please don't forget to comment on this that video. That means that just you can like or that dislike, and how is the classes and how you people are that following, just you can comment. Okay, okay. So Fazen rule. So Fazen rule, actually here that we need to learn that three important points. The first one is that charge on the cation, and second one is that size of anion, the second one, and the third one is that octet electron configuration. So these three points should be noted in which topic? With a Fazen rule. Okay, so this is a topic of today, the part 4, the types of the bonds. So first let us know the Fazen rule of charge on the cation. See better. So first, before going to know the statement, first here I would like to explain about this that example. See here I've given that examples of that first A group element of sodium, second A group element of magnesium, third A group element of aluminum, and fourth A group element of silicon. So that means here I taken that halides of what? First A, second A, third A, fourth A group elements. Okay, that means this is belongs to that periods data, like that while going from that left to right in periods, because that sodium atomic number is that 11, magnesium 12, aluminum 13, silicon is the 14, like that. Okay, so while going from the left to right in the periods of highlights of these that metals, the covalent nature is going to be increases. The covalent nature is increases. Okay, see how it is going to be increasing. So see here, I'm already given that one the relation. What is it? The covalent nature is that inversely proportional to size of cation. So if the size of cation is increases, sorry, this one is I given that polarization nature. Okay, polarizing means this one. Polarization definition. Just you can check out this one once. Okay, so here the charge on the cation is increasing better. See the sodium, the charge is that +1 because it is belongs to the first A group element. Magnesium is the charge is that +2 because it is belongs to the second A group element, and the aluminum charge is that +3 because it is belongs to third A group element, and the silicon is the charge will be that +4 being as a fourth A group element. So here what's going on? The charge on the cation is increasing from +1 to +4, isn't it? So see, if the charge on the cation is increases, the covalent nature is also increases. The covalent nature is also increases. That means that polarization power on the cation is also increases. So that means that obviously they will be directly proportional. So look at this, that box. Okay, the polarization, the covalent nature or the polarizing power of the cation is directly proportional to charge on cation. So in these molecules, the charge on the cation is increasing +1, +2, +3, +4, like that. So obviously being as a directly proportional on the charge on cation, if the covalent nature is also increases. So that means here we can raise the question, which of the following molecule can have higher covalent nature? So that means that obviously depending upon this statement, being as what that higher in the charge on the cation will be obviously more covalent in nature. So more covalent in nature means lower in ionic nature only. So don't forget that is that very easy point to be noted over here. What is that? Higher in the covalent nature, lower in the ionic nature, because they're the opposite number, like that ionic and that covalent is the opposite phenomena. Okay. So see here that sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is having the least covalent nature. Then obviously higher in ionic nature, least covalent nature and higher in ionic nature. Okay, now suppose if the charge is the same, if the charge here in the above example, if the different charges are there, then we need to apply this one, this relation. Suppose if the charge is the same, like lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. So these are the examples of the group elements. The halides are the groups. Okay. So in groups, while coming from top to bottom in the groups, the halides of these first A group elements, the covalent nature is gradually decreases. Gradually decreases. See, reason, the covalent nature is that inversely proportional to size of cation. Is inversely proportional to what? Size of cation. So here, suppose in that group elements, so group elements is obviously is having the same number of the valence electrons, isn't it? So same number of the valence electrons means that same charge will be there. So then don't go for this statement beta. So if the charge is the same, we need to get the relation of what? Size of a cation. We need to get the relation of our size of cation. Okay. So as I said, what is that? In groups, what happens with that? The covalent nature. In groups, what happens? Groups in the sense means that while coming from top to bottom. Okay. Obviously, they have in the same valence, isn't it? So that the covalent nature is that decreases. But what about in periods? Is increasing, because in the periods, what happens? Various number of that electrons can enter into that new shells. Various number of that electrons are enter into new shells. Okay. Okay, na? So I think that you understood this one, this relation. Okay. So what about this? That example two of that group elements with us. See in that lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Here I taken that first year group elements of that halides, means that chloride, like lithium chloride, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, rubidium chloride, cesium chloride. So here that here we can raise a question. So which of the following molecule can have least covalent in nature? So least covalent in nature means first we need to check whether the uh, in the molecule the central metal atom, like that the main element is belongs to the group elements or the period elements. So see here lithium, sodium, potassium. So that means that we need to get an idea. Okay, so these so whatever the options are given, they are belongs to that group element. So in that group elements and the halides is also same, chlorine, 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 like that. Okay, then we need to check the size of the cation. In the groups we need to check the size of the cation. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. So obviously we know one nature, but what is that? While coming from the top to bottom in groups, that size of the atomic radius is increases, isn't it? So atomic radius is increases means that obviously the size is also increases, because the atomic number is increasing, isn't it now? Because that electrons are entered into new shells. In groups the electrons are entered into new shells, but what about in the periods better? The electrons are entered into the same shell. Electrons are entered into that obviously in that same shell, but in that groups they are entered into that new shells. So obviously the size of cation is increasing. So according to this statement, that lithium is having that least means the smaller in size. See here I'm already given lithium is having a smaller in atom size, and cesium plus is that larger in size. So inversely proportional. So size of the cation if it increases, the covalent nature is decreases. So here that lithium chloride is having maximum covalent nature due to what? Least cationic size, and cesium chloride is least covalent nature due to what? Due to what, beta? Hmm? Is the largest means that larger in atomic size. So here just we can get the variation, is that relation, means the differentiation with that of that ionic nature also. See if that lithium chloride is having that mm, higher in the covalent nature, then lower will be ionic nature. See him already given. So most covalent means the maximum covalent nature, then least ionic nature. Cesium chloride, in the cesium chloride larger in size of the cation. So larger in the size of the cation means that least covalent nature. So least covalent nature means maximum ionic nature. That's it. So this is about the charge on cation. Got it now, beta? So if you won't understood, so please go and play back that video and just check it once. Okay now? I hope everyone is that understood this one, and see this one. So that is the greater the charge on the cation, greater will be the polarizing power, and higher in the covalent nature. That's it. In short, simply, what is that? In groups, the covalent nature is that it decreases, and that periods that covalent nature is that increases. That's it. Very simple. Okay. Now go to the second one. What is the second type in Faison rule? The size of anion. So size of cation key, obviously it will be the opposite to size of anion. That's it. What is that? In size of cation, what is that? The polarization at the covalent nature, no, is directly proportional to what? The charge on the cation. Charge on the cation, if it is that increases, the covalent nature is also increases, isn't it? Then what about the size of anion? Size of anion is directly proportional to what? Is the covalent nature. Size of anion. I'm not saying as the charge beta, just the size of anion. Charge will be taken for cation and the size should be taken for anion. So please just to check the differentiation between these two. So don't get confused. Once again, I repeat, what is that? That for the cation, we need to get the charge. Okay. And for the anion, we need to get the size. Okay. That means that larger anion are that more polarized, like according to this one. See, Here I given that one more example: lithium fluoride, lithium chloride, lithium bromide, lithium iodide. Okay, so here lithium, 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 lithium means that same element, and but the different anions are taken, like that fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, as the size of the anion is increasing, as the size of the anion, like fluorine, see better, the fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So iodine is a that larger size of anion, they can easily will be polarized. That polarization will be that great, means that higher in iodine. Then obviously uh, is the covalent nature is also high. What it means? That means it can easily forms that covalent nature. So which one can form that covalent nature very easily? Lithium fluoride, lithium chloride, lithium bromide, and lithium iodide. Lithium iodide. Okay, don't get confused over here. So lithium iodide can easily forms covalent in nature, and the lithium fluoride can easily forms ionic nature because it's the least covalent in nature, and lithium iodide is the higher covalent in nature. So maximum covalent in nature, lower in ionic nature. What is the reason? Because the size of anion, see the cation is the same beta, lithium, 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 lithium. Okay, na? But the size of anion is changing over here. Means that differ is there. Means that higher, then the covalent nature is also high. Got it na? So this is the second point. Got it na? Next, third one, octet electrons. So octet electrons means what? What does it mean of that octet electrons? So how can we write the octet electron? How can we write? See, so any atom contains like ns2, sorry, just a moment. Okay, now it's clear. See, if any atom in its outermost orbit, if it contains ns2 and np6 electrons configuration, if this type of that electronic configuration is contains in its outermost orbit, then it would be, yes, tell me. Simply we can say octet electrons, because in its that outermost orbit, how many electrons are showing it as 6 plus 2, 8 electrons. If 8 electrons are present in that outermost orbit, then simply we can say octet electronic configuration. Okay now, and in that in our the lower sections we have already studied why if any atom of that element is going to show that 8 electrons, but why it is shown to get the stable. Okay, and how it is going to be shown is that 8 electrons by loss of electrons or by gain of electrons or by share of electrons also, it's going to be tend to attain 8 electrons, means that octet electrons. Why? To get the stable. What it now? To get the stable means more stable. And we know one relation like that, higher in the stable, lower in the reactivity, means they are not going to be reacts with they are not going to participate in any chemical reactions if they are stable. Okay, so let's come to the point. What is the in octet electron? So a cation with 18 valence electrons. Okay, if a cation with 18 valence electrons. Okay, but if 8 valence electrons is there, then simply just to be said it as that octet electronic configuration. Okay, what is that? Simply we said it as what? Octet electronic configuration. Isn't it now? This belongs to octet. Okay, instead of that 8 electrons, what is that? Instead of 8 electrons, if 18 electrons are present in its that outermost orbit, okay, instead of 18 electrons are present in its that outermost orbit, then it would be known as pseudo. What is that? Pseudo inert gas, because that octet in the sense means like that what inert gas electronic configuration, like that noble gases in that each and that every noble gases element can contains that 8 electrons in its that outermost orbit, like but except that helium. Okay now, helium it contains only 2 electrons in its that outermost orbit, but even though they are the stable. Okay, so helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. Radon is a radioactive element. So these are the noble gases. So or 8A group elements or inert gases. So octet electronic configuration. Otherwise, inert gas electronic configuration kuda anochu. Then what about this bit? Instead of 8 electrons, if 18 electrons are present in its that outermost orbit, then simply we can say as that pseudo inert gas electronic configuration. What is that? Pseudo means what better? Pseudo means what? False. Pseudo means false beta. That means it is also like that stable also. Otherwise, it's simply that pseudo unit gas electronic configuration. Just we can say that one another name, that is nothing but nickel electronic configuration. Okay, what is that? Nickel electronic configuration. Suppose if those students are do not know about this, that new names, just please note down beta. Okay, so pseudo inert gas electronic configuration is also known as what? Nickel electronic configuration, because that nickel is the fourth period element, and it is that atomic number will be that 28, isn't it now? The nickel atomic number is the 28. Then how can we write the electronic configuration of the nickel? How can we write? See, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and 3d. Count 6 plus 4, 10, 12, 18, 20, okay, and 8. Okay, now count beta. First orbit 2 electrons, second orbit 8 electrons, and what about this one beta? 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 2, 18. So if that 18 electrons are present, outermost orbit ante ippudu 4s should be that outermost orbit na, but idi మనం ఎప్పుడు తీసుకుంటాం on loss of that plus 2 electrons. Okay, then the third orbit will be taken as that one. Okay, so 18 electrons ఉంది కదా ఇప్పుడు, అందుకే 18 electrons ని రీచ్ అవుతుంది అన్నమాట. అందుకే దీన్ని మనం సూడో ఇనర్ట్ గ్యాస్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే నికెల్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ అని కూడా అంటాం. Okay, got my point? Nice. Chalo. So what is that? A cation with that 18 valence electrons. So if 18 valence electrons are there, then simply what is that? Pseudo inert configuration. See, I'm already given. Okay, has more polarizing power. So it has that more polarizing power than what? A cation with that 8 electrons. So suppose if those in those molecule, if any cation, if it contains 8 electrons is there. Let us suppose if that 8 electrons in that outermost orbit and 18 electrons in that outermost orbit. So which one is having that more polarizing power? 18 electrons, isn't it now? Which one is having more polarizing power? 18 electrons, isn't it now? So more polarizing power means obviously more covalent in nature. That's it. Okay, see, him already given that one example. I taken that first year group element, okay, like sodium, potassium, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, like this. Okay, so on loss of one electron from the first year group element, by losing only one electron, they get it's the nearest inert gas electronic configuration. That means that 8 electrons will be there. Okay, in first year group element, what is that beta? In first year group element, by loss of that only one electron, Na plus, potassium, whatever, not only that sodium and potassium, that remaining elements also, by loss of that only one electron, it becomes that ns to np6, like that 8 electrons will be there in that outermost orbit. And here in d block elements, in the d block elements of first b group, like copper, silver, and iron. So these are the 1b group element. In that groups wise I am seeing, while coming from top to bottom in groups, copper, silver, and iron. So these 3 elements are belongs to 1b group element. So suppose if you don't know, just please pause the video and go and check in the periodic table once, then you can understood well. Okay now? So these are the in the d black, The copper, silver means Ag means that argentinium. That means simply we can say that is silver, and aurum means that gold beta. So these are belongs to 1B group. Okay, if you won't get it that once, is just please pause this video and check the periodic table once. Okay, so copper atomic number 27. Okay, 27 plus 18, then we will get that silver. So by loss of that one electron, it gets what? Sorry, this is not the 27, this is the 29 beta. Copper 29. So by loss of one electron, that means that 29. Just think logical. By loss of that one electron, it becomes the 28 of that nickel, isn't it, or not? See this one, copper. What is the atomic number? Copper atomic number is that 29. Here I given the charge as that plus. That means loss of one electron. Loss of one electron. It becomes that 28. So 28 means that obviously it will be that nickel beta. So nickel means it is nothing but what? Pseudo inert gas electronic configuration, isn't it now? So that means like this example. What is that? See, sodium and copper. Comparing these two, which one is having that more covalent in nature? Copper. Why? Why? Because it's shown pseudo inert gas configuration. Pseudo inert gas electronic configuration. Sodium and loss of that one electron, it becomes 8 electrons. That means that inert gas electronic configuration. So inert gas electronic configuration will be that ionic in nature, and that pseudo inert gas electronic configuration of that molecule will be covalent in nature. Understood now? In the same way, see here I given that one more relation. Second A group element of I taken means alkaline earth metals. In alkaline earth metals, I taken that magnesium, like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. Okay, like Betty, Mange, car, scooter, Bap, Raji. Just please try to remind like this for that second year group element. What is that? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium. Like what is that? Betty, Mange, car, scooter, Bap, Raji, like that. Okay, so magnesium, obviously being as that second year group element, is that charge is also +2. That means that it lost 2 electrons. So obviously it contains that 8 means octet electronic configuration. So inert in nature, means sorry, ionic in nature. Then 2B group elements beta, like zinc, cadmium, mercury will be there. Okay, 2B group elements. Just please pause the video and once again just go back to check the periodic table once. So 2B group elements. This is the end of the D black. This is the end of the D black elements. Group lo 2B అని ఉంటుంది. అందులో ఫస్ట్ స్టార్టింగ్ దట్ ఫోర్త్ పీరియడ్ లో జింక్ ఉంటుంది బెట, atomic number 30 we know that. After that cadmium, after that mercury, atomic number 80 mercury. Okay, so zinc atomic number 30, and loss of 2 electrons, it becomes as again the 28, isn't it now? So 30 lonchi 2 electrons తీసేయండి, obviously it becomes the 28. So 28 in the sense means that nickel electronic configuration. That means that pseudo inert gas electronic configuration. So that means covalent in nature. So see the relation. Okay now? So obviously comparing to magnesium and zinc, which one will be having that more covalent in nature? Obviously zinc. So that means that here we can get that one example. See here I will show that one example. What is that? Suppose here I given that magnesium chloride MgCl2 and zinc chloride ZnCl2. Okay, otherwise magnesium hydroxide, how can we write? MgOH taken twice, taken to magnesium hydroxide, and zinc hydroxide, zinc ZnOH taken to, because the charge is that +2 now beta. So that's why we need to get the 2 molecules. So now the question can be raised as like which of the following molecule, first one and second one, which of the following molecule have more covalent in nature? So ila adutadu beta question. So more covalent in nature means just we need to get the point like that. Okay, so magnesium charge is that +2, atomic number is that 12. Zinc charge is that +2, its atomic number is that 30. So 30 lonchi on loss of the 2 electrons, it becomes that 28. And What is that? Magnesium. Out of 12, if it lose the two electrons, it becomes that 10. 10 means that obviously it belongs to inert gas electronic configuration. So we need to get that idea like this. So inert gas electronic configuration, if it contains the 28 electrons, 28 atomic number is that nickel. Nickel means obviously how many electrons are present in that outermost orbit? 18 electrons are present. So that means obviously this one, the second one will be that more covalent in nature. So we need to get the answer like this. So here also magnesium chloride and zinc chloride, which one is that more covalent in nature? Zinc chloride. Then magnesium chloride is that least covalent in nature. So least in the covalent nature means obviously higher in that ionic nature. So this is the way of the framing the questions. Okay, now come to the point. See, here I given that one more example. Zinc oxide and that magnesium oxide. Zinc +2, magnesium is also +2. Okay, oxygen -2 same. So that's why let us check the variation of that zinc and that magnesium. Zinc atomic number 30 and +2, isn't it now? 30 lunch and loss of the 2 electrons. So 28. 28 means what better? Nickel. Nickel means what? Pseudo inert gas electron configuration. So that means more covalent in nature. That's it. Magnesium as usual +2. Atomic number is the 12. So on loss of the 2 electrons it becomes the 10. So 10 means what? 10 అంటే దేంతో ఉంటుంది బెట atomic number? Neon. So neon means obviously it belongs to the inert gas electronic configuration. So that means it is that ionic in nature. So ఇక్కడ క్వశ్చన్ మనం ఫ్రేమ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఏంటిది అది? విచ్ ఆర్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆక్సైడ్ ఆఫ్ మెటల్ లైక్ జింక్ ఆక్సైడ్ అండ్ మెగ్నీషియం ఆక్సైడ్ షోన్ ionic in nature అని అడుగుతాడు. సో మెగ్నీషియం ఆక్సైడ్ will show that ionic in nature, whereas that zinc oxide will be that covalent in nature. Understood? ఓకే అండ్ క్వశ్చన్ ఇక్కడ మనం ఇంకోటి కూడా అడగవచ్చు బెటర్ లైక్ దట్ విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ మాలిక్యూల్ ఈజ్ ఫార్మ్డ్ బై ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్. ఓకే, transfer of electrons. So transfer of electrons means obviously it is belongs to that ionic in nature. Ionic bond is formed by transfer of electrons, isn't it now? Isn't it or not? Because that in the previous we are already saw the table. See, I will show you once. Okay, what is that? See, but ionic bond, how it is going to be obtained? By the transfer of valence electrons. But what about that covalent bond? Sharing of electrons. Okay, so here we can raise that one more question better. So this is the way how can we create the questions ourselves. Okay, how can we create the question ourselves? So depending upon this, the two options like zinc oxide and that magnesium oxide, the question may be asked like that, can be given like this: which are the following molecule is obtained, is formed by the transfer of electrons. So transfer of electrons ante first మన statement లోకి వెళ్ళాలి. So transfer of electrons means it would be that ionic bond statement. So that means it will be that ionic nature. అలా గుర్తుపెట్టేసుకోండి. అదే జింక్ ఆక్సైడ్ లో ఎలా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది బట్ దట్ మాలిక్యూల్ is going to be formed by sharing of electrons. So equal sharing of electrons. Okay, like that covalent bond is obtained. So covalent bond, that molecule is obviously shown that covalent in nature. Understood? And same question and same two options like we created the two questions. Understood now? So if you want to understood, just go play back once again. So how can we create this the question? Then you can understood easily. Okay, so this is about what? Octet electronic configuration. See, here I'm already given one note. Okay, now it's clear, I think. See beta, in this note here I given that FeCl3 and FeCl2. Okay, FeCl3 and FeCl2 means ferrous chloride and that ferric chloride. Ferrous chloride and ferric chloride. So what is the main important point to be noted over here? Check it once. As increasing in the covalent nature. Chalo beta, how can we find out the covalent nature? See here, halide chlorine is the same. So then we need to go to the cation. So what is the cation? Iron and iron. So what is the charge here? Chlorine -1 now beta, always -1 into 3 -3. Then iron contains that +3. Here chlorine is always shown -1 charge only. So -1 into 2, -2. Then this iron is becomes to +2, will be +2. So higher in the charge, higher in the charge on the cation, more in covalent nature. We are already learned, isn't it now? What is that? Higher in the charge of the cation, greater will be the covalent nature. So here that FeCl3 contains that more covalent nature. What it knows? So as increasing the covalent nature, its the intensity of the color is also increases. Its intensity of the color is also increases. So what is the intensity of that color? That FeCl3 is the reddish brown. Okay, what is that? Sure, reddish brown beta. Then what about that FeCl2? Greenish color. Okay, FeCl3 ki ఏముంటుంది బేటా greenish and yellow color ఉంటుంది. So that's why obviously we know that red color, it is having that more intensity. Radiation will be that more for that red color. We are already learned, isn't it now? So this is the very important point to be noted over here. So like that here it is also just we can frame a question like that, which of the following molecule is having that more intensity of the radiation or intensity of that color? Which one? FeCl3. Why? Because that FeCl3 is having that more covalent in nature. So then what is the color of FeCl3? Reddish brown in color. What is the color of FeCl2? That's greenish yellow in color. Okay now? Now go to the next point, next page. Okay, understood now beta? The previous topic, whatever we learned today. If you won't understood, just go back and play again, then you can understand. If you won't understood, just comment me just which topic you are not going to be understood and which line you are not understood, then I will try to explain in one more time. Okay, next come to that bonds like the sigma bond and the pi bonds. So in the previous topics we are already learned sigma bond is formed by what? Axial overlapping, otherwise the head to head overlapping like this, head to head overlapping or axial overlapping like this, otherwise the linear overlapping between any two s and s orbital, otherwise that s and p orbital, otherwise that when p and p orbital is overlaps in that linear or head to head, then sigma bond is obtained. Okay, if they are not head to head, that means that if any bonds like s and s is always going to be overlapped by that linear only. Okay, they are not going to overlap like that sideways, because the pi bond is not possible when two s orbitals are overlaps. Okay, and pi bond is obtained between only the two p orbitals, because it is easily overlap like that sideways overlapping or lateral overlapping. This one is that head to head. They don't tell it as that tail to tail beta. No, that is wrong. Okay, if sigma bond is obtained or formed by what type of that overlapping is occurring over here? Axial overlapping means through the axis beta. Okay, na? Or head to head overlapping, otherwise that linear overlapping, then a sigma bond is obtained. But what about the pi bond? Pi bond is formed by what? Lateral overlapping, otherwise that sideways overlapping. Ila overlap avutundi chudandi ikkada I am already shown this the diagram. Then a pi bond is obtained. Okay, and due to that axial overlapping, the sigma bond is that strong. Okay, is very strong. Just now in this topic only I'm already told those are the strong, they are the least reactive, they are the stable, highly stable, least reactive. Just like that, those are the strong, higher in the strong, lower in the reactive. Okay, now what about this one? Pi bond is a weak bond, but sigma bond is a strong bond, it is the less reactive. Okay, then what about this one? More reactive. Highly in the reactive means least stable, isn't it? Na ikkada enti beta least reactive. Least reactive ante ikkada manam point em add chesukochu, ikkada more stable ani add chesukochu. Okay na? Next come to that stability. Stability is depending upon what? Number of sigma bonds. So is directly proportional to number of sigma bonds. So higher in the number of the sigma bonds, greater will be the stability. Okay, for example CH4 and C2H6 beta. Chalo, Let us explain for the example. Methane undi beta, CH4. Okay, CH4, and one more molecule, C2H6. Chalo beta, how can we draw the structure for this one? CH4, methane, central atom, that carbon is going to surrounded by that 4 hydrogens. But what about over here? The 2 carbon atoms is going to surrounded by 6 hydrogens. That means that each carbon is surrounded by 3 hydrogens. So how many sigma bonds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 4 sigma bonds are there. What about here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And between the carbon and carbon also one sigma bond is there. So totally 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7 sigma bonds are there. Now tell me, as we learn the statement, what is the number of sigma bonds is directly proportional to what is that? Stability. So ethane molecule, this one is having the more sigma bonds, then obviously higher in the stable. Got it now? I hope you understood. Next, stability ki reactivity ki inversely proportional. We know that, isn't it now? Isn't it now? So reactivity is inversely proportional to sigma bonds. So in this example, so which one is having that least reactive beta? Least reactive means least reactive means reactivity ki number of sigma bonds ki inversely proportional, isn't it now? So which one is molecule is having that greater instability? C2H6. So greater instability means least in reactivity. So C2H6 is less reactive and CH4 is that highly reactive, like that. Okay. Next, free rotation of the atoms is possible. But what about over here that pi bonds ki? There is no free rotation because of what how they are going to be overlapping sidewise. But what about over here beta? S and S and SRP and P, whenever they are going to overlapping like that axial, then rotation is the possible, isn't it now? Like okay, that's it. And what about here? Free rotation is not possible. And stability, pi bond stability is inversely proportional to number of pi bonds, same. Okay, stability is inversely proportional to number of pi bonds. But what about over here? The stability is directly proportional to number of sigma bonds. So ఇక్కడ ఇంకొక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకున్నాం. For the example of pi bonds. Okay, C2H4 ethylene and C2H2 acetylene. How can we draw the structure better? Carbon carbon ki one double bond is there and two hydrogens. Ikkada two carbons, triple bond will be there and two hydrogens. Chalo, how many number of sigma bonds are there? Chalo, count how many number of sigma bonds are there beta. But this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In double bond, one sigma bond and one pi bond is there. So how many number of the sigma bonds are there? 5 sigma bonds and one pi bond is there. But what about over here? 1, 2. First 1, 2, 3. 3 sigma bonds are there. Okay, and we know that in triple bond, one sigma bond is there and two pi bonds are there. So two pi bonds. So see beta here, one pi bond and two pi bonds. Which one is highly reactive comparing to that pi bonds beta? Which one is that highly reactive? So first let us get the stability. Increasing in number of the sigma bonds. Increasing in number of the sigma bonds, more stability is there. But pi bonds, increasing in number of the pi bonds, inversely proportional is the least stable. And obviously it is having the least number of the sigma bonds. So least number of the sigma bonds ki pi bond relation ఏ తీసుకున్నా మనకి ఇక్కడ ఆన్సర్ కరెక్ట్ వస్తుంది చూడండి బేటా. You got me that just look at the twist over here. Okay na? Increasing in number of the means number of the sigma bonds is directly proportional to stability. అంటే దీనికి ఎక్కువ స్టెబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది, దీనికి తక్కువ స్టెబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది. ప్లస్ అదే పై బాండ్ కి తీసుకుంటే బేటా ఇది ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్. ఓకేనా? ఐ హోప్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ రియాక్టివిటీ. ఇక్కడ సిగ్మా బాండ్స్ కి రియాక్టివిటీ ఏమో ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ ఉంటుంది, ఇక్కడ డైరెక్ట్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా? And free rotation of that atom is that possible in the sigma bond and free rotation is not possible in that pi bond. And it determines the shape of the molecule. The sigma bond changes, it is going to explain the shape of the molecule. Okay, and what about this one? Pi bond, it does not determine the shape of the molecule, but due to the presence of that pi bond, what happened beta? It shorten the bond length, means bond length will be decreases. Bond length will be decreases. Important point to be noted over here. Okay, next page. So covalent bond cases. So this is the few examples are there. Okay, about the single bond and double bond. Okay, to be continued in the next part. Okay, no? So till then, bye bye. See you, beta. So bye. Take care.